Welcome to the CPM Customer Success Podcast, where we help Office of Finance leaders enable an exact solution to enhance their corporate performance without spending countless nights and weekends in the office. Hi, I'm your host, Andy Smetana from Nova Advisory. Nova Advisory is a 100% OneStream professional services diamond implementation partner. We help OneStream customers and prospective OneStream customers get the most out of their OneStream investments. For CPM Customer Success listeners, we now have a weekly email newsletter to keep you informed on the latest CPM Customer Success news. By subscribing today, we'll keep you informed on episode releases, including customer success stories, OneStream interviews, and capabilities to keep you up to date about OneStream's unified platform for finance. You can check that out now at Nova Advisory's website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and subscribe to the CPM Customer Success podcast newsletter today. Today we're exploring Gartner's 2025 Magic Quadrant for financial planning software, who the other major players are in the marketplace, and why OneStream has been recognized as a leader for the 5th time. We'll also cover OneStream's recent win in the annual Microsoft Partner Awards, a recognition that reinforces its ecosystem strength. This episode's all about how finance leaders can interpret these signals, how OneStream compares to other well-known platforms in the quadrant, and where they all tend to win. Let's start with an important clarification. Gartner's Magic Quadrant does not rank vendors on a scale of 1 to 10. There's no official number 1. Instead, Gartner evaluates vendors across 2 dimensions. The first is their ability to execute, which includes product performance, customer experience, and operational maturity. And the second is completeness of vision. So that includes innovations, roadmap, market understanding, and future relevance. So vendors placed in the leaders quadrant score highly in both of those dimensions. So here's the nuance. Not all leaders are strong in the same way. Each leader tends to excel in specific dimensions. And the real value of the Magic Quadrant is understanding where those strengths lie and whether those strengths align with your organization's needs. So to fairly assess OneStream's position, we need to talk about other leaders in the quadrant. First off, let's talk about Anaplan. Anaplan's been a long-standing leader and is particularly well known for complex collaborative scenario modeling across finance, sales, and supply chain. Many organizations choose Anaplan for its flexibility and modeling depth, especially when planning is the primary pain point. Where OneStream differentiates is scope. So planning in OneStream is not a standalone exercise. It lives on the same platform as consolidations, reporting, and analytics, using the same data model. For finance leaders, that means fewer reconciliations, fewer handoffs between systems, and stronger governance and auditability. So while Anaplan often excels as a best-in-class planning engine, OneStream's frequently selected when leaders want planning embedded within the full performance management lifecycle. Second, Workday Adaptive Planning. Workday is another consistent leader and it's widely appreciated for ease of use, fast deployments, and strong user adoption. It's often a great fit for organizations prioritizing accessibility and workforce-aligned planning. Where OneStream tends to win is in sophistication and scale. For global organizations dealing with things like multi-currency in their consolidations, regulatory reporting, sophisticated financial planning and analysis models, or tight integration between actuals and forecasts, OneStream's architecture was designed specifically to support both statutory finance and strategic planning at enterprise scale. So in short, Workday often wins on simplicity, but OneStream wins when depth, governance, and enterprise control matter the most. Third, SAP. SAP remains a leader largely because of its massive enterprise footprint and appeal to organizations already deeply invested in SAP and ERPs. That ecosystem alignment can absolutely be valuable. However, many finance teams describe SAP planning environments as more modular and IT dependent, requiring longer timelines and heavier configurations to adapt to change. OneStream differentiates by enabling finance teams to configure the platform as their business evolves and maintain full control over their models and data. That distinction matters when CFOs want agility without re-implementing systems every time their business shifts. And finally, others in the marketplace include Board, Tagetic, and GDocs. These platforms also bring strong capabilities, particularly in the areas like integrated planning, regulatory reporting, and analytics. What Nova Advisory consistently hears from our OneStream customers is that they were trying to avoid stacking multiple tools or living within functional silos. OneStream's strength is delivering one extensible platform. That platform will grow with the office of the CFO, instead of forcing a redesign every time a new use case emerges. Things like you decide to acquire a new company, or you're preparing for an IPO, or you want to add a new solution like strategic planning. With OneStream, as you grow, you can grow within the OneStream platform. So let's talk about where OneStream quietly outranks its competition. Here's where the comparison becomes a bit more clear. Most leaders in the quadrant are excellent at something specific: planning innovation, modeling flexibility, ERP adjacency, or regulatory depth. OneStream consistently stands out because it performs very well across the entire finance spectrum. It offers breadth without fragmentation. OneStream uniquely combines planning, budgeting, forecasting, consolidations, reporting, analytics, and now AI. And all of that's within one unified platform. And that breadth directly supports Gartner's view of completeness of vision, especially as finance teams are under pressure to reduce system sprawl. Being named a leader 5 times matters. It signals product maturity, customer success at scale, and operational consistency. Not every vendor sustains leadership year over year, especially as expectations around AI, cloud, and data governance continue to rise. OneStream's Sensible AI is all about improving forecast accuracy, accelerating scenario analysis, and embedding intelligence into familiar tools like Excel and Teams. So let's talk about the Microsoft Partner of the Year award. It's worth mentioning OneStream is also named Microsoft's Software Development Partner of the Year in the Americas. This award honors measurable customer impact within the Microsoft ecosystem. So for finance leaders, this reinforces 3 things. First off, enterprise-grade cloud foundation on Azure. You can work within the Azure footprint. Deep integration with tools your team's using like Excel, Microsoft Teams, Power BI, Copilot, and lower adoption friction, because finance teams will work where they're already used to working in those tools and applications where you're likely having your teams work day to day. This partnership with Microsoft strengthens OneStream's execution story and it reduces long-term platform risk for large organizations. So let's talk about customer impact, and let's get into our CPM customer stories of the week. First off is a global manufacturer. They moved off Excel spreadsheets and point solutions to adopt OneStream. And they not only just improved their planning, but they also wanted to unify planning across actuals and reporting. So the result they achieved was faster forecast cycles, fewer reconciliation issues, and FP&A teams spending more time advising the business. Another CPM customer success story is in the healthcare industry. And this organization used OneStream to tie its operational drivers, things like staffing, patient volume, supply costs, directly into their financial forecasts. This alignment enables leadership to model scenarios in real time and make decisions with confidence. And these are exactly the type of outcomes the Gartner Magic Quadrant identified when they're evaluating how OneStream is able to execute and its ability to support global organizations. So what should CFOs take away from all this? Here's the bottom line for you as a finance leader. The Magic Quadrant is meant to help companies find the platform that best fit their complexity, their scale, and their future direction. OneStream consistently stands out because it offers broad finance coverage, strong execution, practical AI, and a unified architecture that reduces your long-term risks. And that's why it continues to earn Gartner recognition. Remember, 5 years in a row, OneStream's been a leader in the Magic Quadrant. And it's why we see at Nova Advisory that OneStream is chosen by organizations that want fewer systems, stronger governance, and a platform that grows with the office of the CFO. So if you'd like to explore more, a great place to start is episode 4, one of our foundational episodes. And if you're specifically looking at OneStream versus another of the competitors we've mentioned here, check out episode 19 if you're interested in Oracle ERP versus OneStream. If you're investigating OneStream versus SAP, that's episode 40. OneStream versus Anaplan, that's episode 55. And one of our latest is an episode, OneStream versus Pigment. So check that out on CPM Customer Success, and have a great week. Thanks for joining us for this episode of CPM Customer Success. Reminder to check out the CPM Customer Success weekly email newsletter to stay informed of the latest CPM Customer Success episodes and OneStream news. You can check that out now at the Nova Advisory website, novaadvisory.com/podcast, and subscribe to the CPM Customer Success podcast email newsletter today. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next week for another episode of CPM Customer Success.